Hi parents! Today I'm going to be talking about Ark Pioneer Academy. A lot of parents are very curious about this school. It is relatively new. I think it's just got 2 cohorts. And I first researched this school last year when it was brand new, and this is what I got from the website, the information that was available. So it is in High Barnet, so EN5 is the beginning of the postcode. They are part of a larger group. The Ark has opened up 3 other schools in North London over the last 10 years. So they are quite almost like an umbrella group, and they will have focus and run the Ark Pioneer the way the other schools are run. So it's already been built on a model that is very successful. All the other schools are outstanding. Now I'm going to list the other schools in case you've heard of them before. King Solomon Academy, the Ark Academy, Isaac Newton Academy, and the Ark John Keats Academy. Those are all under the same umbrella for the Ark groups, the Ark schools, all outstanding by Ofsted. Now, Ark Pioneer has not yet been Ofsted rated. However, I strongly suspect, I don't have a crystal ball, but I strongly suspect that it will reach the Ofsted rating to be outstanding. If it's not in the first time that it's looked at, then in the future for sure, because it's following the same model. It's a mixed school, and this is purely the research that I did last year. I'm going to come on to this year's stuff in a moment. So part of what they do is they have a longer school day. So this is what from last year. On a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday and Friday, they would start at 8:25 and finish at 4:30. Now that's quite a long day. And then on a Wednesday, they would start at 8:25 and finish at 3 p.m. Now, the reason for the extended school day was to have extra time for English and maths on the timetable. This might be part of the reason that they're getting outstanding, is because they are dedicating more time to those 2 core subjects. Longer school day. And the other thing that I've written here is they had termly exam weeks. Now, if your child doesn't work well under pressure with exam kind of practice every single week, you may need to think about whether this culture is the right place for your child. I'm not sure whether they're doing that at the moment, because that wasn't referred to on the virtual open evening that I went to. So I'm going to move on to my notes from the talk itself. So a friend of mine messaged me today to say how impressed she was with the virtual open evening that I presume she went on last night. So I did this talk a couple of weeks ago. I did the virtual evening a couple of weeks ago. So they are repeating it. So if you haven't already been on it, maybe it's still up there. So the head is Miss Ryan, and she has been involved in one of the other Ark schools. So she is well ingrained in that, and she knows what she's doing. She came across really, really well, very professional, very, approachable, very nice. Yeah, she was impressive. This school is not at capacity. So in 2025, they will be at capacity. Now, there are many benefits to a school that is new, that only has a couple of cohorts already. By cohorts, I mean year groups. It's going to be slightly less intimidating because there's not as many children as you would expect in schools that are already completely full and have all of the year groups at capacity. So that's a really big bonus in terms from a social perspective. At the moment, they only have years 7 and 8. So the transition into secondary school is vastly different because it's much smaller. The school itself isn't, but the amount of children there is. So it's a new building, purpose-built building, and the facilities are excellent. They have a gym, dance studio, IT suites, football pitches, plural, drama studio, music rooms, and art and TT rooms. So the question posed by the head herself was, why choose us? Why choose Ark? And she said that they believe in every child's potential to succeed, and they have a beautiful school vision. They work from almost university style backwards, developing those skills that you need and bringing them right down to year 7. They expect students to go away with choices, whether that be to start an apprenticeship, go straight into work, or to continue their studies and go to university. And now, one thing that Ark really talk about is the 6 pillars. I'm going to talk about what they are. So the first pillar is to have high aspirations. Now, I really liked what they did here. They visited Cambridge University with the Year 7 group to give them, so what I said about working backwards from university level, it's to give them those aspirations, those realistic ideas, and this is the outcome that I could have at the end of my school career. I could be at Cambridge University, starting with the top, starting with that level, speaking to students, speaking to teachers there. A really cool, fun trip out for Year 7. And they're going to do that every year. And then every half term, they invite great speakers in, inspiring speakers to talk to the children. And last October, they had a Formula 1 engineer, rather cool. And somebody from JP Morgan came talking about creating an interior design app. Very current, very the future. I'm sure half of the kids there will try and think about an app that they can create. Second pillar is enrichment. So the enrichment program is built into the school. Every school virtual tour that I've been on, they all talk about the enrichment curriculum. Now, this is built into the school day. So every pupil has enrichment activities. I've got here that the program was virtual, obviously, throughout lockdown. So they do baking, cooking, HIIT, which is like gym high intensity workouts, origami, very cool, and dance. Third pillar, curriculum. It's rich and varied. So again, I've already talked about how the school day on some days was extended. So the hours of the school day, from what she talked about, are different this year. So on a Monday and a Tuesday, they finish at 4 p.m, different to the 4:30 that was on there last year. And Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it's at 3:10. So it's still a longer school day, up to the 4 o'clock on the Monday, Tuesday. And maybe once coronavirus is a bit more manageable, it will extend to the 4:30 again. Or maybe it's being revised, don't know. Creative subjects are included in the curriculum. It's not just academics. The fourth pillar, teaching, subject expertise. When they recruit their staff, they have really, really high expectations. Now, this reminded me very much of Compton. Compton School on Summers Lane in North Finchley also has this view that the teachers need to be absolutely on it. They need to be experts in their field so that you go from one lesson to another and it's the same kind of level of expertise, that it's not dropping. Teachers are varied in their talents, varied in their levels of expertise, but they want to see the passion and commitment of staff to their subject in every subject. It's not, they say, it's not a lottery for your classroom teacher. It's the same subject expertise every time. The fifth pillar is training. Now, this was cool. They do weekly training for teaching staff. No other school does that. Private schools don't do that. And I've seen a lot of schools. They have professional development provided by their network for their teachers. So they're really looking after their teachers in an amazing way. So I'm sure it'll be quite nice to work there. The last pillar, the sixth pillar, instilling values. So they talked about the personal development of each child. Crucial, hot topic at the moment. And they talked about resilience for future life. At no other time could this be more important and more at the forefront of social media and the news and just our general thoughts towards school and education. This part was really impressive. They have a values and character program, which is taught every day by the form tutor for 30 minutes. Now in the Q&A, I believe that 30-minute slot is in the morning, when the form tutor is with their class. So they're talking about characters, not just how well you're doing at your particular subject, but your inner qualities, your character development. Now that is something that I'm very hot on at the moment. I think it's really important to know your inner qualities, not just your abilities, what you're about, your integrity, your ability to do things as a character strength and quality. And they get merits internally termly awards for modelling integrity and determination, which I think was really lovely. The head spoke about meeting every family that joined. Now, I presume at the moment that would be via Zoom, because in person it's a bit more difficult, and it helps the child start the term, start school confidently and knowing who their teacher is. Absolutely. The home groups, in other words, houses, are named after historical figures that have brought about change. So examples are Mandela, Hawkins, Johnson, Moore, Lawrence, Winfrey. And I don't know whether they've been chosen by the students or the teachers, but I thought that was a very different thing to do. Now, Ark has got very strong discipline. There was a picture of the students walking down the corridor in silence, a little bit robotic-like, but they're not allowed to talk when they're walking down the corridors. Now, this creates a calm environment. There's no bullying, there's no teasing. I don't even know if you're allowed to kind of have a laugh around, joke around with your classmates. It's all learning about self-discipline and control. Now, whether that's for you or not, that's up to you, and that's for you to have a conversation with your child going into year 7. They talk a lot about self-discipline and positive routines. They teach the children how to organise their desk, how to have the right equipment. And when they did a kind of a mock, almost like an interview discussion with some students and a teacher, one of the girls that was in year 7 did say that it actually made her feel more confident, knowing that she had been trained to be organised, to have all of her equipment in her pencil case, know where she's going to be going. And so it had a positive effect on that particular child. Pupils feel safe, they're working towards a common goal. Then there was a video, that was all the head talking. Then there was a video where some of the teachers were talking, and I'll just take little bits, sprinklings of this. I talked about the character program being every morning, walking in lines, reading being really important, and how art, DT, design, technology, music and PE are all built into the enrichment program, which they have twice a week. Then the assistant principal spoke about the adjustment measures that have been put in place for COVID. So every school is talking about that so that they can reassure families what measures they're taking to keep everybody safe. So because it's only 2 year groups at the moment, they've got a massive school, lots of kind of free space, very airy. That works in their favour, but pupils are still in bubbles, they still have individual desks, they have to bring in their own equipment. They use different entrances, and it's staggered for breaks and lunches and arrivals and departures. Sounds like an airport. When they come to school, when they arrive at school, when they go home. And the classrooms are cleaned. So they're still using the science labs, DT, sports and drama. Those rooms are all still in use, but they're cleaned regularly. So I think they have, they have extra cleaning of handrails, toilets, you name it, they're doing it. And the program for remote learning, should it need to happen again, it's all in place. There was a huge focus on the additional well-being of pupils, which was great. So this values and characters program has been extended. They're aware that there is an additional need for it at the moment. So that's good. And then, this was what I referred to before, there was a live talk/interview. They were asking each other questions with one of the maths teachers and 3 of the students. There were a boy and a girl from year 8 and a girl from year 7. And it was quite interesting to hear what they were talking about. So one of the things that the children asked the teacher is what the teacher's best memory so far from working at the school was. And she talked about the trip to Cambridge, how for her it was amazing that she could see how inspired the students were on the coach trip back from Cambridge back to school. And that was I completely understood it, because I've been there before. I've been a secondary school teacher, and to see kind of, the lights going on in those children, that they have been really inspired, that this is where I could be in however many years' time, that is a really amazing moment. yeah, this is the bit. So the year 8 boy who wanted to join, why did he want to join Ark? He thought it was a safe school and it has boosted his confidence, which I thought was a really lovely thing to include. And he said this was lovely. He's in student council, he's in the choir, he's been in concerts, and he's learned loads since he's been there. Amazing. And he said that the school has helped him to follow his dreams, which I thought was just so sweet. And it shows that although it's disciplined, it's a very nurturing environment too, and you can do well. The teacher also said one of the best things that she liked about being a teacher there was the ongoing improvement of teachers. So not only are the teachers going to be happy, but the children are also. They have to work in unison together. And then it went into the Q&A with the head teacher came back on. So the normal thing about catchment area, they don't have a specific catchment at the moment for Ark. Because it is a small school, they're bringing people in from all over. If you don't get it on your first round, try again if you really want the school. They're saying if you really want it as your first school that you want, put it as your first choice. But all of the schools are saying this. It's a way of enticing you in. Siblings are prioritised, but remember there's only 2 year groups. And then what else? It's a very diverse school, so they've got mixed ethnic backgrounds and it's a nice place to be in. Enrichment is twice a week. They're hoping to offer debating this year, so it's not currently there. And somebody asked about, is football at break time? No, it is not at the moment. And then there was another last point, the form tutor, and the head was talking about the role of the form tutor, it being the key contact for home, that the form tutor will usually meet with the parents and have one-on-one time to talk about the development, the child's reading age, any issues that are arising, and the academic performance of your child. So, Ark, really good school. I've had a lot of questions about Ark, a lot of questions. Yes, they are strict, but remember they're coming from the Ark group, which has other outstanding schools under its umbrella. It is going to be an outstanding school, I have no doubt about that. If it's something that you think you might be interested in, I'm going to copy a link below and go and check out their videos. Thank you. Bye.